What's going on, Japan? Tuo-Cruz here, and you'll never guess who's back in Japan. My wife, Tun-chan. Okaeri. And unfortunately today she's not going to be joining along with the cycling, although she does have her mamachari right now. We had a little party with our Japanese study group, but I'm about to head out for a ride with one of our friends, Nishijima-san. He's one of the people who helped Tun-chan start get into cycling when we did our Lake Biwa ride last year. So if you haven't checked out that video, I'll link it up ahead. Anyway, today we're going to be going for a nice ride. It's beautiful sunny weather here, not humid at all, just really nice, beautiful skies. And I'm really excited. I'm going to be testing my new GoPro Hero 6. This is the first time I'll be using it in the daylight. Right now I'm recording on my GoPro Hero 6 and hopefully the audio sounds good on this. And I thought along the way, I'll be talking a little bit about some stuff related to cycling, motivation, setting some goals and stuff like that. Recently, I haven't been racing or anything. It's been over a year since I last entered a race, but I'm thinking about entering a race this year. We'll go into that story along the ride, but anyway, come along, join along. We're not sure where we're going yet, but it's gonna be a nice, long, beautiful ride in the eastern side of Nagoya, the Japanese mountains. Let's get going. Mata ne.
台湾どうだった？
楽しかった。で、チョンちゃんは1日90キロ雨の中で走ってた。So I mentioned today's theme is going to be on the topic of motivation in cycling. This is something I've struggled with for the last few years. A big reason being I used to race at a pretty high level, former domestic pro in the US, and just, I don't know, once you reach a certain point and you realize you're not going to get back to that point, you kind of lose your motivation. At least that's how it was with me. And this last year I haven't entered any races, I haven't had any motivation to train, but I'm going through this cycle where I'm starting to get motivation to come back. And the big reason is I just really want a goal, something to work towards. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same level I used to be at before, but just something to work towards, something to feel satisfied that you're reaching that goal. So right now we're on our way to Togoe Pass. We just made a video about this cycling road and one of the more popular mountain passes here in eastern Nagoya, Japan. I set a goal here 2 years ago to reach 8 minutes, and the closest I got was 8 minutes and 8 seconds. So I got really close, but I didn't push past that last little bit to get over 8 minutes. And here we go, we're at the base of the climb right now. Right now, I'm not in that great of shape. I'm at about 9 minutes. We're gonna see how I do today. We're about to start the climb, so time to start with some suffering. Finished with 8 minutes 50 seconds. Not bad. 10-second improvement from last time. My wife and I recently did our Taiwan cycling trip, so 2 weeks riding around Taiwan, and just riding around every day on that trip really started to bring back my motivation to ride. And ever since I came back to Japan last week, I've just been in a good mood with some solid motivation and started going to the gym, started doing some squats, started riding my bike more, so I'm trying to ride at least 4 times a week, put in some decent efforts, and we'll see where this goes. I'm thinking to enter some of the cyclocross races. Told myself I was too busy, didn't have time to do it. I had other priorities to focus on. My main job, building this channel, working on some other websites I build, and on top of that, trying to maintain a training schedule is really hard, but I just found if you make the goals, you'll end up following through more than you would if you didn't make goals. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, make some goals and follow through. Going back to the topic of goal setting, I found that it's really important to set measurable goals. So goals that you can track, that you can tell you're improving. For example, my goal to climb that mountain, I want to get under 8 minutes so I can track my time. Last week I did 9 minutes. This week I did 8 minutes 50 seconds. So I can track my improvement. I can tell if my efforts are paying off. You have to keep in mind though that, for example, if you do that right after your gym day, so if I do squats, for example, the next day, I'm obviously not gonna have as much energy, so you gotta keep that in mind. But if you track this data over time, eventually you should see some progress. If you don't see any progress, you need to change something in your routine, make some changes to make sure that you can get those goals. So what am I doing? What are my goals? Like I mentioned, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing squats. I started doing night rides. Tuesday nights, we're doing a sprint workout at the local park. I used to do this a few years ago when I was motivated, when I was racing, and I found something that's really important is having people to train with. So you see right now, today, I'm with Nishijima-san, and if it's just me out here, it's really hard for me to get motivation to push myself on these rides. But if you have someone with you, pushing you along, motivating you to work out, it helps so much. I used to have a good friend here, Bradley OG, and he'd be the guy ride with me every weekend. I have a really bad habit of sleeping in and wanting to ride in the afternoon, but most of the serious riders here, the fast riders, all wake up early. They're disciplined. They'll wake up early and get their ride in. I don't have that discipline, mostly just because I'm doing so much other stuff. I'll stay up late editing a video and I'll just want to sleep in because I'm tired from the week. So it's great having someone to ride with today. It's great having someone to push you. It's great having people to come on our weekly night rides that we're starting up here in Nagoya. So in addition to having measurable goals, having some sort of support network, someone to help push you and make sure that you are following through on your goals. Doesn't matter what you're doing, if it's sports, if it's studying, having measurable goals is extremely important. And I'm climbing up this 8-10% grading right now while trying to talk, so quick break. Taking a quick kombini break. One of the other goals I'm setting is on nutrition. So I used to have a really bad ice cream addiction, and I'm gonna try and eat less ice cream. So we're avoiding ice cream today. Just gonna get some healthy sports drink. Hikari Sweat. Lots of temptation here. Ooh. They've got a new Haagen-Dazs flavor, the caramel truffle. But we must resist the temptation. I really like this though, but we've still got some climbing to do today, so let's resist. Come on, Cruz, you can do it. Oh man, this looks good too. Lots of good looking ice cream here. As we enter the fall season here, we've got a lot of good food items coming out. Lots of different nikuman here, lots of different flavors, pizza, and so on, curry, and also it's oden season, but We're not gonna get anything right now. We're gonna save the food for after we finish our workout. Back on the road. Let's go. Red light. Love Hotel. Let's go. Taking a quick little break here at Jokoji Station, one of the more beautiful spots nearby where I live here in Japan. We've got kind of this like run-down train station. Stopped by here quite a few times on the blog, and beautiful river down below. We're about to go through one of our last big climbs of the day, the Jokoji Killer. It's super steep and it's super bumpy. It's got a lot of rain lines down below. All right, we're not gonna take too long of a break. Let's go, get on the climb. Noborimashou! That's a killer. Legs are full of lactic acid right now, especially since just started training and not used to this lactic acid feeling right now. Especially tough. Whew. This area is especially beautiful in the fall. We're almost entering the Koyo season, or the autumn leaves season. I rode here last year, did a nice autumn leaves video. I'll add the link here, so go check it out if you're interested. We're at Jokoji Park. There's actually a lot of trails here. You can actually do some mountain biking here, so maybe we'll come back here in the near future. I'll show you guys some of the mountain bike trails. Whew. Gotta catch my breath.終わりました。
疲れた。
疲れた。美味しい飯どこ？
食べてる。もう終わった。
パーティーもう終わった。Just finished with today's ride, but good ride. 74 kilometers, 1,000 meters of climbing, and did some pretty good efforts on some of the STRAVA KOM, some of the hill climbs, mountain climbs nearby, and I'm pretty proud of myself. I resisted. We didn't get ice cream during today's ride, and at the end of the ride, I chose to go the healthy option, so I got my protein drink here, maximizing recovery. And before we end today's video, I just want to close with a few thoughts. Today's theme, so setting goals, setting measurable goals. This is really important, and it's also really difficult to manage this yourself, so it really helps to have some sort of like coach or someone to just help support you with these kinds of things. And that's where you guys come in. So you guys need to check in on me. If you guys see me slacking, if you guys see me eating ice cream or something, yeah, just if you have any encouraging comments, leave them down below. And the first cyclocross race here is in the first week of November, so I've still got a few weeks to train and get in shape for this. And actually, I might be sandbagging the first race because you used to not have to register for the National Cycling Association to race cyclocross here in Japan. And so I used to race, I got upgraded to Cat 1, I was racing those races, I didn't have to register or anything, and it was great. Because the registration process here is a pain. You have to mail everything in and it's just like ancient, and I didn't want to deal with that, and you usually have to associate with some sort of team, and I don't have a team, so there's just all these like reasons like where I don't want to deal with this. And now, they seem to have changed the rules, so now from category 2 and above, you have to register with this and pay an extra license fee. And the kicker is, this expires at the end of the year, so if I buy it now, I'd only be able to use it for a month or two, and then I'd have to buy a whole new license. So, I think I can race Cat 3s without having to register for this license, which means I'd be sandbagging a little bit, but considering I haven't raced in over a year, and I haven't really been training much lately, it might not be as easy as I think. Anyway, I'm training for a Cat 3 race, and I'll probably stick there until the end of the year, and if I do well, I might upgrade to Cat 2 and pay for my license for the next year. Anyway, things that I'm working on, I'm aiming for 8 minutes on the climb, on the Togoe climb. I've got a few other segments nearby. Strava is really good about this. It's really good for setting a goal, setting a time. You don't necessarily have to get the KOM, but you just choose the time that you're aiming for. What is your current time? How much do you want to improve? Strava is huge. It's a great motivator and it's a great bar to set, and all the data is there for free. You can always see your performances over time. It's a really great tool. I use it all the time and highly recommend it if you haven't been using it. I'll also be exercising in the gym, so I'll be recording my weight I'm lifting. So on the squats, how much am I doing? If I do leg press, how much am I doing? And just trying to gradually improve those over time. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this video. Maybe you decided, hey, I need to decide on some goals. So make sure they're measurable goals though, so goals that you can improve over time and track. We're gonna end today's video here, and I'll probably make some more videos in the future about my training, about tips for training, about how my training is going and stuff like that, things you should do, things that you shouldn't do, and so on. I'll probably make a couple videos about those as I get more into the training routine. I hope you guys like the new style of video today. So I tried talking more using just the GoPro. This is a lot safer for me. I'm not sure how good the audio quality is right now, but I'm planning to get an external microphone and record that and sync the audio later, which should get me some really good audio. The problem is the mic I want is about $200, so it's an investment in the channel, I guess. So speaking of investing in the channel or supporting the channel, we did start a new early access program on our Patreon. So a big thank you to all of you guys. A couple of new people have joined us on Patreon recently, and we have a few spots left on our early access program. So for only $2 a month, you can get early access on all of our videos. There's limited spaces for those. We have about 5 spaces right now, and then after that it goes up to $3, which will be the normal price. So if you'd like to help support the channel and help me be able to afford new equipment so we can improve the quality of the video and audio on this channel, feel free to go check out our Patreon. That's gonna be it for today. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.